if I do manage to upload this to YouTube, if I'm happy with how I commentate this, I just want to say, hey YouTube, how you guys doing? I'm doing a commentary on a game that I ended up losing, but I'm going to show you how you have the most impact in a game when you're 1 versus 9. So, we're going to take a look at the moves I make, how I'm trading in lane, etc, etc. Also, I do want to check to see if the way I played around the Xin Zhao gank was right or not. So, let's go ahead and take a look. Let's go ahead and fast forward here a little bit. So, I called for us to stay topside, because usually what happens, when I play versus Mike Young, this jungler's Mike Young, I think he's the jungler for TSM. What I usually do is I stack topside because he usually ends up invading topside. It's one of those things I've learned about him. But, I mean, this is just like a game specific versus this player, right?
30 seconds until minions spawn.
So we end up moving to this bush. Now, the reason why we're sitting in this bush is the level 2 meta. If you guys don't know what the level 2 meta is, the jungler usually will start one buff and go for the opposite scuttle, because the amount of time it takes for the jungler to walk from here to here means that scuttle will spawn basically right as he gets there. That way he wastes 0 time. That is the meta. So, what people have been doing this patch, if you are on red side, you're going to ward this bush, or right here. And if you are on blue side, you ward right here. And I'm only going to go over top side of the map because, I mean, we're playing Trinmere, we're playing top lane. But we are counting on Mike Young or somebody to come ward this bush, and that's why we 5-man stacked it. So unfortunately, he played it very safe, and he ended up dodging skill shots. We did end up burning a slash, which will make it impact later. So this is a call made by me. And I warded in front. That way we can spot out like if they go for the scuttler. But keep in mind that because I warded in front of Xin Zhao, he knows that I don't have any ward for like a level 2 gank. So this is how I play it. I'm actually not even sure if Xin Zhao went for the level 2 gank on me, but look how I play the lane. Usually, I'm going for the level 2 push into turret as quickly as possible, right? I'm building up Fury actively on the first wave, and then on the second wave, I'm hard shoving, getting the second wave in before a third wave comes. That's the usual tactic. But, because we got Xin Zhao starting topside, I knew he started topside because of the ward. I gave him respect, and I thought, hey, maybe the Xin Zhao is going to go for a level 2 gank. As we can see here, he actually did go for the opposite scuttler. My mid laner nor my jungler warded bot side for whatever reason. I will not know. And I think he ends up coming back topside eventually. So I waited for a possible level 2 gank. And then when Scuttle spawned, I'm assuming, okay, if he was looking for a level 2 gank and he hadn't come yet, then he's probably just going to go for Scuttler. So now I'm building up Fury. I got level 2 before the Mundo. I spun through that minion, that way I could get the damage on the Mundo and get level 2 instantly. And position myself between him and the turret. And as you can see, I'm orb walking, so I'm attack moving and then walking in front of Mundo, try to creep walk him, trying to get as many auto attacks as possible. And I actually almost killed him. This is going to be important for later. So I got this really good trade on him, right? Actually, let me show my vision. So, you know that ward that I placed earlier on? Checking for see if Xin Zhao like try to cut through a river after doing red buff. Wards last 90 seconds now on this patch instead of 60 seconds. So it still spots him, even though I placed it before main phase even started. So that's a really important information. So, now that I know that Xin Zhao is topside, I don't need to go, like, I don't need another ward to know, like, whether he's coming here. I'm playing safe. I'm soaking EXP from afar. If Xin Zhao ganks me, he's going to be by himself. Right? And because I saw that he had 8 CS, I knew that he wasn't going to be able to hit level 3 off of doing the Scuttle Crab, so I knew I was safe from Xin Zhao 11. So I'm still looking to soak EXP from afar. Every time a minion's about to die, I walk forward, make sure I'm in EXP range. And I went for the cannon because I'm a little bit greedy. And I also assumed that Xin Zhao would have gone back by then. So let's see if he actually looked for the gank. I'm not even sure. No, he even looked for the gank. I guess he knew I still had the ward on him. So I'm kind of letting it crash. I'm still respecting Xin Zhao a little bit. But the reason why I'm not actively trading with Mundo, even though I got this awesome trade on him level 1, biggest reason is I have the wave set up perfectly. So if we want to take a look at number of minions, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 compared to 3, and because of the wave position, look how slow, like look how much longer my minions have to path in order to meet this minion wave, while his minions don't have to walk as far. And that's because the minions are positioned on his side of the lane. So his minions are going to match my minions before my minions match his. So, I'm getting a little bit of trade damage on the Mundo. Just because I can, he was auto-attacking the minions. And now you're going to see a pretty smart move by the enemy jungler. Like, his pathing was actually pretty, like, I didn't anticipate it for this game. But watch how I set this up. Because I know I have the wave set up for me, I got some good trade damage as he's setting in. And the Dr. Mundo is about half HP. And I have all this room between Mundo and his turret. He has to run so far away to be able to live, right? I can just straight up kill him, 100-0. So I go for the kill. What I didn't know is that Mike Young was actually just waiting there. He hasn't even been in his bot side jungle yet. He hasn't touched it. He went red, bot scuttle, top scuttle, raptors, krugs into a lane gang top. But because we burned the Xin Zhao's flash level 1, I actually lived
My
it.
right arm is a lot stronger.
Yo, Itto,
than
thanks
my
for sub
left
4
arm.
months in a row. Appreciate it.
Fog feels good. Min fogged feels good. Min, here's a resub. V.
Hey, thanks, man. Alright, so, now we got the wave shoving. I just back instantly. The Xin Zhao didn't shove in the wave. Mundo TP'd. And he shoves the wave in. I don't think I missed very much, just because Trinmere is pretty fast, and I've got my spin to get back to the lane. So, let's talk about this. How come I'm not just, like, automatically shoving up the lane? Let's take a look at my experience. Experience is a big factor in determining what move you're going to make next. So, if you guys had watched my my Snowball top lane video, that doesn't just work against Nasus. You can do this against any top laner and set up a dive. So I do the exact same thing here. I am setting up a slow push for a dive. There is no counterplay that's, like, there's nothing Mundo can do except get off tower completely that can save him from this dive. Also, I do notice that the Xin Zhao is bot side, and he did show himself bot side before this play. So, I'm blast hitting minions like right before they're about to die. So usually with the slow push you can stack 1, and then the second wave, and then the third wave you crush all the way in as fast as possible. So this is the second wave that I'm stacking. I always try to see if I can get a little bit of damage on the Dr. Mundo before I go for the dive. But he actually plays pretty far back here. He's just throwing cleavers. I don't even care. I actually was able to burn his bone plating before the dive. And before the dive starts, I make sure to proc my Conqueror off the turret. And remember, he has no flash. I have ulti. He's level 5. He can't do anything. He just dies. I dove immediately before the Dr. Mundo could hit level 6 and kite me. So the level 6 to level 5 power spike is really good for Tryndamere. And you have to make sure that you set up the waves ahead of time. That way you can take advantage of this power spike. It's really important. Not only on Tryndamere, but pretty much every other top laner has some kind of ability that they can maybe dive their opponent with level 6 to level 5. In the past, if you take a look back at like Season 4 Pro Play, they did this stuff all the time. When it was Renekton versus either Shyvana or Dr. Mundo, back in that meta, the Renekton would always set up the wave perfectly so he gets level 6 compared to Dr. Mundo's level 5 every single time. It's something you can set up consistently if you have priority in the lane. And what I mean by priority is that you dictate how the wave is set up. Basically, you can kill the enemy top laner at any time if he tries to fight you like straight up. Means basically you have pressure on him. If we're talking about lanes that we don't have pressure versus, we're talking about like Jace, Quinn, Pantheon, Olaf top lane if that shit ever comes back. Like those kind of tops, they're really strong early and can duel you in the early game. You have to scale against those matchups. So you got to make sure that you kind of be a little bit wary of those matchups. And like again, you won't have priority on the wave, so a bunch of this wave manipulation stuff kind of hard to set up. Now let's take a look at the moves I'm making now. So I went ahead and backed up into a spot where I know Xin Zhao couldn't see me. That way I can go ahead and back, so I didn't want my back stopped. I went ahead and bought Tiamat, going into Zerka Greaves. I mean, this is just standard build. Alright, see Xin Zhao bot side. I get a really good trade on Dr. Mundo here. Basically, I was hitting these minions, keeping my Conqueror up and building up Fury. Dr. Mundo walked within my spin range, spun on him immediately, auto-attacked to use Tiamat, and he kited me with the cleaver right after. I wasn't looking for an extended trade here. So now, he fears that I'm going to dive him, which I 100% would if he stayed under turret. So he's just trying to farm with cleavers, right? I let him take that one, but for future ones, I'm taking this. Because I'm going to try to take this turret. So he walks up because he knows that my minion wave is about to die. So he's like, oh, hey, he's not going to dive me. I'm safe. But as soon as he walked within melee range, I'm starting to dive, and I'm killing him. Now, notice that I used my W after my first auto attack and after he used Cleaver. Because I know he's going to turn his back right after he uses his Cleaver. There are a couple of champions who turn their back at like various times. Like Rumble, for example, he can turn his back twice. So if you're diving something like a Rumble, make sure you save onto your W until he uses both his harpoons. That way you can guarantee the W slope, because, you know, diving a Rumble especially, you want to make sure that you don't get kited. That way you hit the W slope. But for Mundo, he's usually going to do a Q or QE and then kite back. So I got the W slow. And I was actually able to dive him. I didn't even use ult on this dive. Like, that's how hard I crushed him. And then this cannon minion almost killed me, so I'm going to cut it out. Got first blood turret. Now, next thing I'm looking to do, I'm looking to shove in this wave as quickly as possible. Again, I had seen Xin Zhao bot side, so I figured I was safe to push this in. And back out. So I shoved the wave all the way into turret, that way it didn't set up a freeze. And then I back off. at this point, as soon as you back here, Dr. Mundo is all the way up here with this minion wave. I don't have to go straight back to top lane right now. There is no resource. There's no Krugs. There's no minion wave set up for me. Like, we can also see there's no Raptors. I don't have to go immediately back up to top side. So, what I like to do, sometimes what I do is, like, I'll put down a ward. Maybe I'll look for a roam. When I was back here, I didn't see any plays I can make around the map. Maybe I could have gone bot side here. But even that's kind of thin. I mean, my bot lane's 1 and 5 already, right? At 9 minutes. That's just your typical bot lane. So I end up just going back topside. Mundo actually TPs, so I go for the turret damage. So I could have done Krugs here, but because Dr. Mundo TP'd, I went for turret damage instead. Now I'm taking resources, I'm taking the Krugs, I'm taking enemy jungle. Alright, so we actually have good vision, so I have a ward here, that way I can see if Xin Zhao is coming top. This would also potentially see a Syndra roam. I go ahead and back up here because I still feel kind of unsafe. Pressuring Mundo, like this ward just like was about to run out. And I don't think I had any wards in my inventory either. I think I just got that one now. One option I could have taken, I could have stayed a little bit longer and put a ward and maybe try to pressure his Mundo because we did see Syndra bot side. But I ended up just backing and covering bot. Yeah, so the reason I backed here is I figured that I'd have to cover bot. So you can see I just run down there, I cover the wave. And my wave's slow pushing back towards me. I don't need to go back to topside instantly. So, I push out bot. And taking a look at the score of the game, I realize my bot lane's feeding, my mid lane's behind. My jungler's doing okay, but the Xin Zhao is making so many moves across the map, he's actually got a level on him too. So from this point in the game, I decide I want to be 9. And if you're 1 versus 9, which means you're the sole carry on your team, you're the only one that can carry your team to victory, you take all resources available to you. So, I'll show you what I mean by that in a second. You see this red buff? It's 11 minutes. I don't care about my jungler. I don't care about my ADC getting red buff. I'm taking this red. Like, if you're the only person that can carry a game, you take all resources. Exactly, Rigby. Keep it up. That's Rigby. That's your jungler and ADC crying because they didn't get red buff. But you don't care. You just carry him anyways. Now I see the big wave crashing top, so I just go ahead and take that. Again, we're looking for ways to get as much experience and gold as fast as possible. So I saw Xin Zhao there. That's a big wave. Maybe I could have killed the Xin. I think I was looking up the wave when it came out. No, there's no way I killed him. He would just ulted and gone to the plant at best. So I'm going to take this resources. 1v9 is all about getting as many resources as possible, getting your EXP as high up in the game. Also, I do want to talk about pathing. So, if you are a Tryndamere, you have the best scouting tool in the game. And I'm going to show you what it is. Notice my pathing. Now, Tryndamere's W has, it's arranged like a circle. You see how it's lit up right now? This is just because of the replay. When I'm in game, you can take a look at this and it'll be dark when no champion is nearby, and then it'll be lit up like this is right now when a champion is nearby. So as I'm pathing just so my W would be able to see on the outskirts. I don't want to reveal my intention. If Dr. Mundo is backing one of these brushes, I don't want to reveal that I'm walking to the brush. I'm going to surprise him. So I'm walking just on the outskirts of my W range, that way I can scout these brushes. And if he happens to be on one of these brushes, I just go in there and try to beat his ass. but I didn't see Dr. Mundo. I actually see him here. I saw him with my W, so I checked it out. I think I got some pings from mid lane that people were potentially coming, so I go ahead and back off. I was looking for a kill here, but I didn't want to force it. So now I see a collapse on mid lane. Now I know I have a straight up 1 versus 1 versus this Mundo. And while I'm waiting for this minion wave to come up, I'm taking resources, getting as much EXP as possible. Shove this in. And because I see everyone on the map, it's very important that you look at your mini-map. Take a look at everything that's going on. And I gotta take turret. I back off here. I probably didn't need to because we did still see everybody. I probably could have been a little bit greedy, but I think I had my Fan Dancer gold and the F sword, so I just went back to that power spike. And this is when you put on your smork face and you say me bot, you just take over bot side of the map. So I said me bot, my team respects me. I mean, I'm level 12 in 14 minutes. I am very strong. So I'm gonna do like in all my power to try to carry this 1 in 11 bot lane. They're 1 in 11 at 14 minutes. My mid lane's 0-2, but he's kind of like a wave clear mid, so he can help out a little. My Jax is like, I mean, he's got 3 kills and 1 assist, but he's really behind in CS. He's 2 levels down with the Amusement Gel. So again, I see everyone on the map. I realize I have a 1 versus 1 with this Dr. Mundo. I'm going to pressure him as soon as I see him. Yeah, he's just like straight up backing off turret all the way. Like he realizes that I can kill him. He actually burns ulti because I hit my W slot. And so I realize I can't kill him. I'll walk around, I see if there's any Gromp, and then I see a potential for a flank commit. So maybe what I could have done is I could have kept trying to force on this Dr. Mundo, and maybe try to take another turret. But I realized that there's a chance that the enemy team might just like straight up get an inhib if I don't rotate. So I go ahead and rotate and try to make a play. Maybe the more consistent play that I could have made here was just keep pushing, keep getting advantage, like keeping experience, keep getting the turret. But I go for a little bit of a risky play. I realize that like I have to make plays if I want to carry this game. So I walk up here. I think I get a kill on the Syndra, and I get a big shutdown bonus. That's 650 gold for her for that kill. And then I go and take top wave. Mundo TPs. I'll push this all the way out. Of course I'm taking the you already know. Again, look how fast I'm just rotating to these resources. I see minion waves crashing, I take it. I see jungle camps, I take it. There's the reason why I get such high CS numbers, and this is a master / challenger game. I mean, take a look at the names in the game. I mean, we got Mike Young, Blaze Alive, we got Valkyrin, Prismo. We got like multiple like challenger players in this game. The reason why I can have such high CS is not just like the micro, not just like being able to last hit their turret, but because I make the smart rotations to get CS. I take the right jungle camps. When they're up. I think at this time I saw nobody in the map, so I was looking at back. But as soon as I saw a 3-head bot, I go ahead and push it out. So I'm looking to pressure as hard as possible. I figured that someone was going to go cover this wave, and I did see the Syndra on the way out. So I just go ahead and take these cards. And I looked back since like people are like mid / top side. Like there's a chance that maybe I could have forced something, but if you look at my gold, I have enough for my Infinity Edge and Dagger. So I'm really strong. I'm reaching really good power spikes. So I was gonna head bottom, but I guess Jax thinks he's carrying the game. So I mean, I'm level 14. Everyone else in this game is level 11 and 10. Like, I've got 3 levels above their whole team just because of efficient like pathing and farming and making sure I'm taking as many resources as possible. So I'm level 14 in 17 minutes just because of smart pathing. I was looking for maybe like killing the Pike and Xin Zhao here, but I thought the Syndra was just too close and I'd just get collapsed on. I also have no summoners. I used both summons on the Syndra in the previous fight. Now, usually, in this kind of situation, if you realize, like, I can't stop this. There are 4 people pushing mid. Jax is just AFK bottom. I'm the only one here. I can't stop them from pushing and taking this turret. If there were resources in my jungle, instead of waiting around here, I would be going into my jungle and just taking resources while they push down mid. Just because I actually cannot contest. But because I have no resources to get, I kind of just like back off, I way off to the side. I'm waiting for my teams to respond. Lucian and Braum are coming up now.
My right arm is a lot
Yo,
stronger
Chinner's right arm,
than
thanks
my
for prime
left
sub, I
arm.
appreciate it. So, for whatever reason, they decided not to go for the inhib. So I'll take it. Again, taking all resources. I am the only one who can carry this game. Everyone else on my team is really irrelevant. Pushing us in as fast as possible. I see some people top side, so I keep pushing. I'm always checking my map. Before I go and commit to a split, I am constantly checking my information, constantly checking who's on the map, who showed. Can the people who haven't showed, can they 2 versus 1 me? Can they 3 versus 1 me? etc. 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 Constantly checking my information. I see the Kaisa here. I see 3 mid. I'm looking to back because Kaisa plus whoever could stop back. Yo, thanks for 100 bits, man. Appreciate it. Alright, yeah. So, Mundo plus Kaisa, I can't really dive them, right? They're... it's too hard. I don't have flash. Again, a lot of my decision-making is also determined by if I have flash or not. Having flash for team fights is really important. So, taking a look back here. I'm walking around. I'm not... Maybe I could have stayed top and pressured. And tried to go for an inhib while like they committed people here. But I think I actually make a pretty good play here. So the Xin Zhao actually overcommits to killing the Vel'Koz. So I go ahead and pick him off. Pretty much for free. Unfortunately, the shutdown went to the AD carry, which he's not carrying the game. If that had gone to me, maybe it would have helped out a little bit with this game. But anyways, so I'm hoping that now since he got that 600 gold shutdown, maybe he can do something with the game. I didn't even have to ult, they didn't even do enough damage. I think I ended up getting a kill on Pike here. I'm waiting around, I'm waiting for them to burn cooldowns. Again, I don't have flash. So it's really hard for me to get in this fight. So I'm waiting until they burn cooldowns before I look to go. Kaisa ulted, so I get kited here, unfortunately. Maybe it would have been better, since Syndra had wasted her E if I had used the plant to bounce towards her. That's a small misplay that maybe I could have done better next time on. Braum ends up killing the Mundo, which is nice. And so I end up dying, which is really bad. If you're 1 versus 9, you can't die even a single time. So like, probably this misplay, me bouncing towards the Mundo and the Kaisa who still had ultimate, rather than bouncing toward the Syndra who had no E. Like, that misplay might have costed me. If I had gone ahead and killed the Syndra, I would have also gotten a big shutdown bonus as well, since she is 11 and 1. Maybe I could have played this better, and maybe I could have carried this game. By the way, I did end up losing this game, guys, just so you know. I'm just showing, like, even in losing games, you can still do the most you possibly can, have the biggest impact possible. I think, like, I get us as close as we possibly can to carrying this game. Like, if we take a look at the gold, we have 37,000 gold, like, as a team, and I have 11,000 of it. So I almost have a third of that. So again, taking all resources. Since they did get Baron, I do have to rotate back, because if they go ahead and ace my team, I can't stop a Baron team by myself. So I go ahead and back as the enemy team gets the inhib. In game, I called that I told my team to give up the inhib, and that we're gonna fight for our top side. The reason why I kept pushing bottom is I wanted to pull at least one person to come stop me. So a lot of split pushing is just pulling people towards you and then making a play somewhere else. It doesn't always have to be me just killing this Mundo. Like, I 100% could have walked up and killed this Dr. Mundo, right? And, you know, push some turrets and, like, maybe get him. But at the same time, like, their team, they have really good engage. They got Xin Zhao. They have Pyke with the hook. Syndra could hit a good E on my team. They have really good engage on my team. So, I have to look to team fight. A lot of people do not know how to team fight in Tryndamere. So I'm going to go over the basics. If you're fed on Tryndamere, and you need to team fight in order to win the game, you need to have flash up. This whole time that I'm walking around the map, getting resources and whatnot, I'm level 16 at 22 minutes. I mean, that's pretty high level.
Blue team's turret has been destroyed.
I'm acquiring resources, and again, before the team fight starts, check this out. You see how I'm dragging the mid wave up? I'm trying to get my Conqueror available, and I'm trying to keep my Rage Blade stacks up too. So I go ahead, I flash on the ADC just to kill her instantly. Then I go ahead and pick out the other two melees. I pick out Pyke and Xin Zhao. I spin out. I did have to use ult there because I was scared of being bursted. Maybe I could have saved it, I'm not sure. But I did get pretty low. So the rest of my team did end up dying. Actually, the Vel'Koz died with both suns, and Lucian died with flash up. That's unlucky. So I saw the Jax get a stun onto Syndra, but Syndra actually got her full combo besides her E on me right beforehand. So I just get clapped right after. Like, her ult actually did 1100 damage to me right there. So I did end up killing 4 out of the 5 team members, but since I didn't kill everybody, hard game. From this point on, basically what I'm telling my team is I'm just trying to survive until I have my next flash available. If we're able to survive in this game until I have my next flash available, there's a chance we can win it. Because Tryndamere can absolutely stomp the fight. And I'm really fed. But I'm going to fast forward through this part. Because unluckily, like 5 minutes is way too long. They still had a 10k gold advantage. I have 15,000 of my 45,000 gold on the team. So I have 1/3 of my team's resources. And yeah, we're able to win. We're able to like burn some cooldowns, but they got super minions pushing mid. I'd go deal with that. And they end up just being able to just tank the turret. I'm thinking that maybe if I was a little bit more patient here and just waited for Jax to come back, I didn't need to go up and engage here. I think that's what I ended up doing. So, I kind of forced engage because the Syndra ulted me and burned my R. So, I went ahead and tried to get as much damage as possible. I burned some cooldowns at the same time. It's the best I could do. I shouldn't have gone in range of Syndra. So, this is just a lesson everyone out there. If you're 1 versus 9, you can't make a single mistake. even if I did play perfectly, I don't know if I would have won this game, but I did give myself the highest chance possible to win the game, and that's the best you can do. That's the best thing you can take away from this. When you have to solo carry a game, you're taking all resources, you're making smart rotations, you're diving your opponent. Like you saw me dive the opponent, my Mundo 3 times in lane phase, get a snowball in lane phase. I team fought effectively, except this last fight. It's kind of hard to team fight without flash, let's be honest. So the mistakes I made were probably here, and I mean on this fight here, I shouldn't have walked in Syndra's range. I made those 2 mistakes, we lost. That's just how it goes. Even if I didn't make those 2 mistakes, maybe we still lose. But what I'm going to get across to you guys is that you need to be looking to have the highest amount of impact possible. It is possible in some games to actually carry these feeding bot lanes. And the best you can do is just try to give it your all, have the highest amount of impact, take resources, get high level. But sometimes, I mean, I can show you the gold and the KDA, and I can say, oh shit, I lost a game in Master. But if you do this consistently, you're gonna be able to carry your team, or you might even get a competent team every now and then. And that way you get easy games. And that's how you climb. Alright, well that's it for that video. Thank you guys for sticking around. Let me go ahead and queue up.
You never stood a chance.